So, as you can see, the title of our presentation is tau is greater than pi. Because the number tau is greater than pi, but it is also better. In our subtitle, it is time for a new circle constant. Next slide. So some of you may be wondering, well, what is this tau thing they're talking about? So tau is the ratio of the circumference of a circle to the radius of that circle, or circumference over radius. And tau is also defined as 2 pi, or approximately 6.28. So, oh yeah.
You want to do the whole thing, Matt?
No.
No. As for why tau is better, the obvious reason, one rotation around a circle is 1 tau, as opposed to 2 pi. This makes finding the circumference of a circle much easier because it just becomes tau times radius.
And this is a photo of what a unit circle would look like if it was in tau instead of the inferior pi. So tau as it relates to trigonometry and circles. Tau would make teaching trigonometry a lot easier because it's much easier for someone who's first learning trigonometry to understand that halfway around the circle is half tau, and a quarter way around the circle is quarter tau, and stuff like that. So it would be unnecessary to multiply whatever angle by half to find the actual value. So it's just going to make teaching it a lot easier. So like imagine if you were a child and you're just first learning trigonometry, and you're learning that one rotation around the circle is for some reason 2 pi. That would not and still does not make a lot of sense. So that's why we should adopt tau.
No. Sine and cosine in particular, their periods would become tau as well. So graphing them using tau would make them easier to understand as well.
So in industry, pi is currently used to calculate for sizing circumference and objects built by machinery in factories. Obviously, this can be tedious and confusing due to pi's flawed nature, as we discussed previously. So with tau in place of pi, equations and algorithms by extension would become much easier to write and understand.
Now, the conception of trigonometry and math as a, stigma, is that it's hard to understand, it's confusing, it's difficult to learn. By switching to tau, it would make it much simpler, and people would be able to eliminate that stigma that math is hard, which in turn would engage more people in the subject. And that leads to more discoveries and more production.
Yeah. So in conclusion, the use of pi currently is a flawed practice due to the superiority of tau, and because tau is much simpler and easier to understand than pi. And tau would make more people interested in math due to its sheer simplicity, and it would remove the stigma that math is really hard. And for more information about how awesome tau is, go to tauday.com/tauandpesto. It's a great website and it's really well written and lists all the reasons why tau is better than pi. So does anyone have any questions? Okay.
Now we got one more slide for you.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So this is
Oh my god.
a lot of digits of tau.
Just because we can.
Which one of you did that?
What?
I'll take the blame for this one.
Well, why? Wasn't the nines?
Those 9s?
Yeah.
Because
It's just a giant sequence of 9s. I think that's pretty cool.
Thank you guys.